Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 179 for Tuesday, the 19th of September 2023. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag PissNID, Steam ID, Webby 360G. And joining me on this very fine evening is...
As I switch.
And that's it.
That is all.
Nick is not available this week, so hope you're having a nice time or whatever you're doing, Nick. So it's just myself and Darren holding down the fort. I don't think loads of gaming's been happening, but there's certainly been some bits in the news which has been quite interesting. There was the PlayStation showcase this past week where they showed off some stuff which we'll talk about in the news section. One piece I'm really excited about, and Darren can probably guess that already. So I'm looking forward to talking about that very shortly. But, mate, it's... I'm loving gaming at the minute. There's so many good games out, and I'm struggling to fit them all in, to be honest. So, just going to go straight into the new releases. There's been a couple. One, I'm not really that... I don't think is very good, but one I'm really enjoying. So, I'll get into the first one that I think is really good, which has surprised me a little bit, and that is the Crew Motorfest. So the Crew Motorfest came out this past week. I already kind of knew that it was going to be decent because I play tested it quite some time ago. Obviously, I couldn't talk about it when I was play testing it, but I was thinking to myself, oh, this is actually quite decent. I mean, I've quite enjoyed the original Crew back in the day, and the Crew 2 picked up on a deep sale for like £8 on the Xbox and enjoyed that. And the Crew Motorfest kind of carries on now. There is one big negative about the Crew Motorfest, which I'm going to get off my chest first and foremost. So I've not bought it, so I signed up for a month of Uplay or Ubisoft Plus on PC. So you know, it's like EA Play, you get access to all the games. Yeah, so I just paid for 1 month, and then that's going to be me because obviously Forza's out in a month's time anyway. So I just wanted to get a month in of the Crew Motorfest just to get that kind of driving itch. And but yeah, the negative I'm going to say now is they advertised it as a cross-play game, right? So I jumped on a few nights ago, and Venom was on, and me and Venom were like, oh yeah, let's do some co-op, you know, like we did in Forza Horizon. You know, you jump in together, you cruise around, you drive to the next race, and you do a race. You know, we were thinking, oh, that's what it's going to be like. No. So they've advertised it as crossplay, but it's not crossplay. So the way that they've got around this is, right, so there's lots of different game modes in the Crew Motorfest, and 2 of them are crossplay multiplayer. One of them is this shitty Battle Royale mode that no one fucking uses. And another mode, I can't remember what the other mode's called now. So you can't just invite your friend from another platform just to cruise the world, fly around, drive around, or whatever, and then do there's kind of like main races, if that makes sense, throughout the game. So you can't do any of that. So I'm really disappointed about that, because everywhere I'd read said, oh yeah, it's cross-play. I was thinking, oh, fuck me, this is awesome. I'm going to, you know, I'll play on PC and I'll be able to jump in with my mates on Xbox, but that's a little bit frustrating, to be honest. However, it's really good. Like, you take away that negative, I actually think, in my humble opinion, and it's probably gonna have some people swearing at their speakers now, I actually think it's better than Forza Horizon 5. It's it's much more fun. So, for a start, it's set on Hawaii Island. Reminds me of Test Drive a little bit. But it's just massive. It's absolutely massive. There's so much to see and do, and it like pulls you through loads of different series of races. So I've done. I think there's like 15 or 16 series. I've done 4 or 5. So you've got like American Muscle. I've done the Japanese one. I've done like the street racing one and a Porsche 911 one, and it kind of gives you like a little history of the car brand, and it's just the way it's done is really really cool, especially if you're kind of in like if you're into your cars, you know, and the it's just I just think the way it's set up is just really really cool, because each race it gives you a different car and you get to dick around with it, and then after each series you get gifted one of the cool cars, which is really cool. Apart from that, the other cool thing is if you've played the Crew 2, you can import your whole car collection from the Crew 2 into Motorfest. So I was really happy about that because I played quite a bit of the Crew 2. So I got to import all my cars over. And then all the cars that you own, you can tune them up. So you can better engines, exhaust and shit like that. Make them faster, more, like better tires and stuff like that. And then you got the customization of the actual body itself, so you can put like different spoilers on, bumpers, alloys, even like underglow lights and stuff like that, which is really really cool. So and that's something I really like about racing games, when you have that customization. But it's just when you're driving around the world, it just looks like the graphics are stunning. They really, really are stunning. But it's not just a car racing game. You get to fly planes and drive boats as well. So it's got plane races and boat races as well as car races. But they make it fun in a way. When you're exploring the world, you can favourite a vehicle of each category, right? So you can have a favourite plane, a favourite boat, and a favourite car, right? And you can switch between them as you're just driving around. So when you're driving down the road in my car, I click in the right thumbstick, and then I get to choose my plane, and so the car just turns into the plane I like, and I'm then flying around this massive world. And the island is huge. It is fucking massive, and it's how I. It's how I travel from race to race, because the races are all dotted around the map. So usually when I finish one, I'll like change it to the plane and just fly to the next one. And it's just really, really cool because it just looks gorgeous. It really does. But there's not just races throughout the world. It's very much like Forza Horizon with the aesthetic of, there's this kind of festival going on. You got your different areas. And then as you're going around, you've got all these different like things you can do, like very much like Forza, where you've got like your speed traps, your drift zones, and stuff like that. So, it's very similar to Forza, but I think personally I prefer the car handling on this. I think it's a little bit more realistic. And the cool thing is as well, obviously I've been playing it 99% of the time with a controller, but I hooked up my steering wheel to it, and to tell you what, mate, it feels amazing with the wheel. Absolutely amazing. And that's something that the Forza games miss massively, because you every Forza I've tried with a steering wheel just feels awful. There's hardly any feedback. It's just shit. Whereas this, like, it feels perfect. Absolutely spot on. So I'm really, really pleased about that. So yeah, I think it's a great game. It's taken me by surprise a little bit by just how much I am enjoying it. As you know, I love my racing games anyway, but I am quite picky about ones I really love. And I have always really enjoyed the Forza Horizon series, but I think it's kind of tailed off the last couple of games. I think the last true good one was like 3. I think 4 and 5 were decent.
I enjoyed 4, but yeah, I never played 5.
Yeah, 4 was good, but it's just, I don't know, there's something like, there's a magic that's kind of missing on them now, and I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, and I think because the Crew Motorfest is it's fresh. Yeah, it's doing something that's a little bit different. I think they've done a really good job with it, because the last two crews that come out, they're a little bit buggy when they come out. There was, they were decent but not amazing, and I think they've really hit their stride with them with Motorfest. Like, it just feels they've nailed everything together. They've learnt a lot from the first two games, and they've put all that experience into Motorfest, and it is a truly really good game. So much so that I'm kind of like, at the minute, like, well, I've signed up to a month of EA of Ubisoft Plus. I'm like, well, what am I going to do when that month runs out? If I, I'm thinking I might still want to play it, so I need to decide what I'm going to do. But I think as well, I think a lot of that depends on how good Forza is as well. Now, this last week there was a little bit of a showcase of Forza. I don't know if you saw it, where they showed a lot more gameplay, a lot more tracks, and it looks stunning, absolutely stunning. So I am thinking that it's probably going to hold my attention, but I'm just kind of, as I said with Forza, I'm just a little bit concerned how it's going to do with the wheel, because as I said, like, every other Forza's been shit with the wheel, so that's going to be a big thing for me. But I think online wise, it's going to be a lot of fun, because obviously it's going to be on Game Pass, and we should get some good gamer nights going on it. And obviously the graphics look stunning, and the handling's meant to be cool. So we will see what that's like. But if you haven't checked it out, just go onto YouTube and have a look. There's some truly, really good videos about Forza at the minute. It looks stunning. But just getting back to the Crew, I think it's come out at quite a good time, because there's no other car games out at the moment, if that makes sense, that are new. So it's kind of hit that window between like F1 2023 and Forza's not out for another month. So there's that little bit of a lull for car games. So, I think it's hit its stride quite well. It's come out at a good time. However, with all Ubisoft games, you give it a couple of months and it'll be on sale, I imagine, anyway. So, yeah, man, check it out. It's awesome. Oh, and just to
I was actually quite surprised they were making a third one, because I don't really remember the first one doing very well at all. And then they did a second one, and I remember you said you played it for a bit, but I never heard anyone else talk about it. And then the next thing you know, there's a third one coming out.
Yeah, I think the Crew games have their they do have their fan base, but they're not. It's not a very big fan base, so it's not very vocal. But they are decent games. I say the Crew Motorfest it's really good. I'm really shocked at how fun it is. So I'm looking forward to putting some more time into it this week. And just to talk about racing games, I'm still playing iRacing a little bit as well. So I've had a few races this week. However, it's one of those things with iRacing. You got to be in the right mood, because it's so serious. You got to spend like half an hour really practicing the track before you really put yourself into a race. And sometimes you're not in the mood to be super serious. And I think the Crew has hit that itch of just dicking around and having fun. So yeah, all good. What about you, Darren? Anything new? Anything going on?
Well, I've been at work most of the week, covering someone's holiday. He's off in sunny Florida at the moment. So, yeah, I haven't been doing a great deal of gaming, we shall say, outside of like grabbing an hour here and half an hour there.
Yeah.
Sort of like on and off.
Okay.
Starfield, I played for a reasonable bit, sort of over a few days. Again, I've like hardly hit my stride with that game. It feels like I sort of stick it on, do kind of a mission, and then turn it off.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. Yeah, the over encumbered and like inventory full, and then you're mismanaging all your bits and bobs, going to your companion and loading them up with loads of crap, and then they get over encumbered, etc. It's a learning experience. I mean, I'm used to sort of going around looting a fair bit in those games, but it's actually now to the point where I'm like, right, if it's anything that's not a blue or higher rarity wise, I'm just going to leave it behind. Because like, even if you take like all the weapons and stuff and go and sell them at the vendors and stuff, you get pennies for them. It's like almost pointless.
Yeah.
Like, you seem to get more money picking up a cred stick or something off of the side. But yeah, still obviously a lot more to do. I'm still enjoying the game. It hasn't like fully sucked me in and pulled me in like a lot of the other Bethesda ones do. But I think we've talked about it before. When you play like a Fallout or a Skyrim or something, you're in that world.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're always in that world. Whereas in Starfield, you're teleporting around different areas and planets and stuff.
Yeah.
So it is kind of slightly different in that aspect. So I just don't find it's not as immersive as the Fallout or Skyrim I find either. Probably mainly also because of that.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly sort of moving around and you're never in the same area and such. But yeah, I will continue to play it, and it's still a fantastic game that I do enjoy and I will enjoy, and it will get better as it goes on, as they improve quality of life. Things like they did a patch the other day, didn't they? Which actually allows you to, I believe, eat food off of tables and stuff.
Okay.
Rather than like have to pick it up, then go into your inventory and find it, and then eat it separately from in there. So if you've obviously taken like a fair bit of damage, you can literally just run over to a table where there's a load of food and
yeah.
Which I think they've allowed you to do in sort of the other games anyway.
Yeah.
For a while, yeah. I think you could do it in Fallout, couldn't you? It was like eat or take.
I think so. Yeah.
When you went up and stuff, so like that was always there. It's strange that it kind of wasn't from the get-go. But yeah, have you put any more of it in?
I've played quite a bit of Starfield this week actually. So I'm really getting into it. I'm proper into it now, shall I say? As I mentioned before, it's a bit of a slow burn to get into. I'm seeing a lot of people online saying that they never got into it because I only played it for an hour or two. Couldn't be bothered. And I can see that, it's a very slow burn at the beginning. But I've played it for about 30 odd hours now. And basically what I did is I did quite a lot of the main storyline up to a certain point, which I'm not going to say. I don't think I'm at the end or anything like that, but I'm pretty far in on the main storyline. And then I was like, right, I'm going to do the side stuff. So I've done the UC storyline quest. I've done the what's it called? The storyline quest for the kind of the gunslinger people. What's it called? The Star. Oh, fucking hell, the names escape me. Anyway, you're like a cowboy. Yeah, the cowboy people.
Yeah, the Fallout inspired kind of area.
Yeah. The name will come to me in a minute, I'm sure. I'm having a bit. Okay, so I'm having a bit of a mind blank, but they've got their own storyline. I've done that. Really good, and it's worth doing because you get a really good spaceship out of it as well when you finish it. So I do recommend doing that one. And now I'm doing the storyline quests for the pirates, which is really good as well.
The Crimson Fleet or whatever it is.
Yeah, the Crimson people. Or whatever. Yeah, they've got like a red skull or whatever as their picture. Really, really cool. I do like how the mission quests have a little picture of like an icon of the factions you're doing the missions for. Yeah. So it separates it out really nice. Also, it's very Mass Effect-y, so your companions have their own quest lines as well. So I've done the quest line only for Sarah, but I'm gonna get other companions with me now and do their quest lines because her one was really good as well. So and I know I've moaned about the space flight, and in fact you got to just go through menus and you teleport. You just fast travel everywhere, which you do. However, if you look past all that stuff, there is a really good game there. The worlds are really interesting. The storylines are really, really good. They've kept me really engaged. And the fact that you can just explore all your different spaceships as well, like it does make it feel a little bit more realistic in that aspect. And the flight, and the space flight is actually quite decent. It's just there isn't a lot of point to it because of all the fast traveling and the menus to land on planets and shit. But it is a good game. It really is, and but I do agree that it's not as immersive as Skyrim. And I know they're different games, but obviously they're both Bethesda. Skyrim, it's all on one world, and you can just walk everywhere, and you don't have to fast travel if you don't want to. So you can make it as immersive as you want, and just walk and explore, and random shit happens. However, when I played Skyrim, I did end up just fast traveling to places I've been before because I couldn't be asked to walk. So that's how much. Also, obviously, that's kind of similar to how you're made to play in Starfield. But I think the game is definitely a grower. I think it's very good. I really do. I think it's a very big win for Game Pass because it needed a heavy hitter, and I know we've got Lies of P. I think it might be out next week, and that's been getting some really good reviews as well. So
tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow! Wow.
I think if you bought a certain edition, you got the bullshit early access nonsense thing.
Right. Okay.
The official release is tomorrow.
Right. I've not been. I'm just looking on my Xbox app on my PC, and it's saying I could play it now. It's out today, mate. It's out now. I've seen 18 people on my friends list have played it already. Well, that's a surprise, isn't it? I didn't think it was out till next week, and you said tomorrow, and I can see it's out now. So
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's 18 or 19.
Yeah, it's 18th today, so yeah, it's out. It is out now. Yeah. Oh my goodness, didn't even realise. So, wow, that's a surprise. But yeah, back to Starfield. Yeah, it is getting good reviews. So back to Starfield, though, I think it's a really good game, and I think and people have got definite misgivings about it, and it's got middling reviews from some outlets, and all those points, I think most of them are fair, to be honest. But they're doing something different, and that's what I like. It wasn't just another Fallout or another Skyrim. They've gone out there, they've done something completely different, and you got to applaud them for that, for trying something new. And I think it is good. I am enjoying it. I really, really am. Now, is it going to be Game of the Year? Hell no, not for me. But it doesn't mean it's not a good game. It is really, really good. So, there's that. I did see an interesting stat about Starfield today as well. 25% of players haven't even gone into space yet. So it's got a little bit of that Game Pass effect where I think people have tried it out for a short time and just turned it off again.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, it's almost like with the thing when they said about the. I covered it last week. The 6 million players or something.
Yes.
And I was sort of saying to a friend of that, and I said, at least 50% of those are Game Pass. And he was like, 50? I'd have said more like 70, mate. 70%.
Yeah.
he reckons. I reckon it's about 50-60% of people Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's sold a lot on Steam though, well, a hell of a lot. So it's still selling well because a lot of people don't want to do subscriptions still, do they? To like Game Pass and stuff like that. So
No, because things do go off. I mean,
mm-hmm.
but when it comes to the obviously the Microsoft first party games, they will stay on Game Pass. They're not going to go
That's
off.
right.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
the third parties. I mean, we'll see tomorrow because there's a Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, is that tomorrow? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it starts tomorrow. I know Xbox's main thing is tomorrow, where they're going to be
Right.
showcasing a lot of Japanese focused games for Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And my bet is they've bought them for Game Pass.
Ah.
Because, like I've said before, Japanese games don't sell on Xbox. They just don't
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Yeah.
So the only way that they can kind of entice Japanese developers to bring their games to Xbox more often than not is through Game Pass. Like, look,
Yeah.
we'll throw loads of money at you. You give us the game for free, and we'll
Yeah.
slap it on our subscription service.
Yeah.
So it'll
Interesting.
be interesting to see what there is. There's people holding out hope for Final Fantasy Remake to finally hit the Xbox at that point. We shall
Lols.
see.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could happen. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
what, 3 years? It's been
Yeah.
3 years of
It's been
since
ages,
it
isn't
came
it? Come
out.
out on PS4,
Yeah,
remember? Didn't it? So,
yeah. So,
goodness
but yeah,
me.
I reckon pretty much most of the stuff they're going to showcase tomorrow for Japanese Japanese and Asian developers on the Xbox is going to be Game Pass based.
Yeah.
Which
Wow.
again is kind of a shame because if you're an Xbox gamer and you like physical games, there's a lot of those games that just get slapped straight to Xbox that never will get a physical disc or
Yeah.
never get a physical copy
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame.
because it's not worth them actually making them because
Yeah.
like 100 people are going to buy it.
Yeah. Oh, well. So, yeah, Starfield. We're talking about Starfield, weren't we? I think, I think people need to give it a chance. I mean, even Peeps has said that he's not into it, and that does surprise me. So, I don't think it's scratching everyone's
It's
itch, but
it's a, it's. I think a lot of that is due to the fact of there's a lot of micromanaging in it, and there
mm,
are a lot of people that just want to fucking play a game,
yeah,
not tit about sorting their inventory out. I mean, I ended up having to look on the internet to find out where my ship's cargo hold was because
uh,
I had absolutely no idea where it was to offload all my materials. Because I had
yeah,
loads of materials for building like the colony stuff or
yeah,
whatever it is where you can build the bases on the planets, etc. I was weighed down with ores and all sorts, and I was like, right, I can stick all this in my ship storage, and then when I craft stuff, you can craft directly from your ship storage.
yeah,
And I went down to the loading bay or the bit where the door comes down and you get off, and I was like, there's got to be a crate round here somewhere. Nope. And it like Googled it, and it's like, yeah, there's a little green screen on a little panel just before you get into your seat on the ship. I'm like, oh, how stupid of me not to notice a little fucking panel all the way up there that
yeah,
isn't even marked. That when you hover over it, says ship storage. Like
lols.
I actually found the captain's locker before I found the ship storage.
Oh, goodness me.
And yeah, you might have people that have jumped in, picked up a load of stuff, done some bits and bobs, and then they get into all those different menus and everything, and they're just kind of sitting there going, "Yeah, I just want to play a game. I don't want
Yeah,
to arse around with this. I just want to sit down and play something."
yeah,
And maybe for those kind of people that are for the after RPGs, maybe Baldur's Gate or something like that is going to be more up their street.
yeah,
But we shall
maybe.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of niggling things that have started to sort of like annoy me a little bit with Starfield to a degree.
okay.
Hardly anyone in the game is killable.
Yeah,
Like, whenever you try and kill most people, it's like they'll just get back up again because you can't actually kill them or do anything.
Yeah.
And there's no aliens. There's like no intelligent other creatures, is there, in the game?
Not
Apart from
really.
aliens, like just like xenomorph kind of things that you just shoot and kill.
Yeah.
Like, if you think of something like Mass Effect, you've got all those different alien races with their own dialects and mannerisms and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of added to the universe and like the whole collective of the federations and whatnot. Whereas in this, it just seems to be just humans.
Yeah. No, I know what you
And
mean.
judging by some of the humans that are walking around in the city, I don't know if you could even call some of those people human. They look weird
Yeah.
sometimes. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but yeah,
I
like
mean,
mine are niggles, but they kind of, it's things that sort of stick out a little bit the more you play it.
yeah, I'm quite thankful that I'm playing it on PC, because I can mod it. So, I've modded out. I don't have a weight limit, so I can just carry infinite stuff, and that makes the game for me so much better because I don't have to faff around just managing my fucking stuff, you know. And some people can say, "Well, you're cheating. You're not playing the game properly." But I'm like, "Well, it's making
It
me
kind of
enjoy the
is, but
game."
yeah,
You know,
you do like when you're playing. It's like you're over encumbered, and you just roll your eyes throughout the sixth time, like, oh,
yeah,
again.
yeah. So, the fact I've been able to do that has just made the game vastly more enjoyable. So, that's one of the
Oh, can we
perks of
do
playing on
away
PC.
with the other? One of the things in games, can we do away with like the classic chase bullshit missions?
Oh yeah,
Where it's like, oh, we're here to track this person down. He was last sighted at this location. You go to the location. He's not here. He's now at this location. Go to that location. Oh, he's not here. He's now at another location. Go to that location. Oh, he's left a message at that location of where he actually is. It's like, I'll just fuck off.
oh dear, yeah. But apart from that, it's a good game. I know it sounds like we're moaning about it, but it is decent, man. I'm really liking it.
Just niggles, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if this had come out like years and years and years ago or whatever, when like, to me, it's still better than Fallout 4. I hated Fallout 4.
yeah.
But yeah, even Fallout 4 had its redeeming qualities of it that I kind of liked. But this is definitely way better than that, in my opinion. Anyway, so far.
Yeah.
Maybe something rears its head later down the line. I don't know. I haven't even got into all the ship building or the base building and all of that kind of stuff. But to be honest, that doesn't interest me anyway.
No.
That much. It's just kind of an annoying distraction of what I really want to be doing, which is going around killing shit and getting better equipment and exploring.
Yeah, I attempted the ship building, but I found it a bit complicated. So I was like, can't be arsed.
Yeah, a friend of mine's made quite a good ship. It's kind of, he showed me it. It's like big and flat, and he's got like loads of stuff on there because he obviously wants all the different workbenches. And he named it Fat Boy, and he'd coloured it in like the Vault Boy colours of blue and yellow, which is kind of amusing.
Brilliant. All right, I'm going to move on then. To one of the, I'm going to just say one of the best games I've played all year, actually. And I've been putting quite a lot of hours into this.
Royal Match.
Oh, yes. I've seen those adverts. Like, I went on my Play Store on my phone because I downloaded a game on it the other day, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, which is a little bit disappointing. Match. And Royal Match was like the #1 game. I was like, oh my god, this looks awful. But yeah.
Is it King that did it? Because it kind of gives that vibe of like King Games or something like.
I'm not sure. I'm just going to have a look. I bet it's in my top. I'm gonna look at the top of the charts.
Huge,
oh no,
huge market,
mate!
push.
It's not number 1 anymore. It's number 2.
Oh, what's
Number one is Monopoly Go.
Oh God!
Yeah.
What, an augmented reality Monopoly game?
No, I think it's just Monopoly on the go.
Oh right, I was going to say most of the games with a go in the title are like all AR games, aren't they?
Dream Games Limited make Royal Match, so looks fucking awful. All right, well, since we're talking about phone games, I'm just going to talk about this other game then first before I talk about the really good game we've been playing. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Now you'd think, oh man, Webby loves a Final Fantasy VII game. It's his favourite game of all time. Yeah? They're fucking milking that cow now, mate, I tell you. So I was like, I played it for about 15 minutes, right? And I was like, so it starts off the same as Final Fantasy VII. I was like, oh, these graphics look good, because it looks to me what they do is they use like the cutscenes or graphics from Final Fantasy VII remake in this, right? Mm. And then you get into the actual gameplay, and it's all this chibi style, like looks a bit shitty, right? And it's free to play.
Like the overworld while you're running around and stuff.
Kind of, but it's free to play. But I was just like, I don't know, like I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like the fighting's like, I can't describe the fighting, but it's not like proper old school turn based. It's kind of like trying to be like Final Fantasy VII remake-ish combat. I'm just trying to load it up on my phone now just to get a better, just so I can describe it better.
Yeah, I've seen like visually, like whenever they showed the gameplay and stuff off, it looked kind of well done, but a lot of it's like going to be flashy window dressing for obviously some sort of microtransactions, which is what you'll obviously get with a free-to-play game anyway.
Yeah,
make their money.
Yeah, so
but now Squaresoft, it'll shut down within a couple of years and gone forever.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You know, like because I did play that Final Fantasy
Ever Crisis.
Not Ever Crisis. That
First Soldier.
Not First Soldier. There was another one. It was kind of like a history one.
Fierce?
Yeah, and one of them died. I can't remember which one it was now.
Yeah, the other one didn't. The other one die that was like looked really good for a mobile game at the time. Was it Mobius or something?
Yes. Yeah. It did die. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's basically right. So it's basically like so. What I played so far. It's Final Fantasy VII, right? Because I'm in the Mako reactor area and I'm running around, and you know the beginning of 7, you know. But it's like this really weird kind of crappy, like they all look like out of proportion, if that makes sense. Like the characters,
super deformed, yeah.
Yeah, like really odd, right? And what I didn't like about it as well is there's no controller support at all. So I've got
so it's touchscreen only.
Yeah, so it's touchscreen only. So I've got one of those controllers for my phone, right? And I don't understand why you can't use it, because when you put your left thumb on the screen, it turns into like a little, like one of those digital D-pads comes up on the screen. One of those digital thumbsticks, comes up on the screen. So I'm just like, why can't I just use an actual controller? Yeah, it's really, really odd. So the way the combat is, right, is like, so Cloud and Barrett will auto attack, and then you get these little, and then you have a little bar going across the screen. You've got these different buttons where you do like different moves. So you've got like Thunder. I've got this move called Fast Blade and Cure, right? And then And you know, like after the battle does the music and they like swing the swords and that, it goes into like decent graphics for that, and then from crappy graphics in the actual fighting, it just seems like it's all over the place. It's really weird.
Aren't the sort of special attacks and all that lot animated and done really well? Like, with,
I've not even had any of those. Obviously, I've not played it enough. Yeah. Oh, and the battles are random as well. So you're running around, and it was just like the original game, yeah, where it's like the screen will suddenly just, you know, do like a transition into the fighting. Now, what I have read online as well is a lot of people are really annoyed about this with the gacha stuff. So, obviously it's free to play, but you can like pay for like outfits and better weapons and stuff like that. This is
something that I actually find weird.
Yeah.
So, loot boxes are kind of banned in certain countries and they're frowned upon by the gaming audience. Gachas are perfectly fine, even though they're the same fucking thing. The exact same thing. You are gambling for random items.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love Final Fantasy VII, and I'm actually just playing. I'm just playing it on my phone now, just doing the Scorpion battle. Remember the first Scorpion battle in the
the boss, in the reactor.
But
when you plant the bomb.
Yeah, the graphics on this fight look actually quite decent. They're not actually that bad. Like, it's so all over the place with the graphics. But it's like, I've already played this game to death. Why would I want to play it on my phone with gacha stuff for like outfits and weapons and shit like that, right?
It's the outfits, how they generally get you. It's like with all of these ones that you usually get, like Genshin and Grand Blue Fantasy and all of that kind of stuff. It's all the waifus and all that lot that are in the gachas, because that's how they get people to spend the money.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why don't you spend your money in a game where those characters are already in it? It's not a live service, so the game won't be permanently deleted when it goes offline, and you'll actually have the characters that you paid for, rather than gambling for them during a random event where you may never actually get the character.
Yeah.
So it just puzzles me. There's a generation of gamers that I'm just absolutely puzzled by. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean, yes, I've just done one of my special moves, and the graphics on that was pretty cool. But it's just, I've read like differing things about this. Like, I've read that some people have said, you know, you can actually finish the game without spending any money, but there becomes a point where you like, but apparently it's a right struggle, you know.
Weeks and weeks of grinding and stuff, no doubt. Well, at least you can get the game to run, because as far as I know, Nick never could he?
Oh, right. Has he got quite an old phone?
I'm honestly not too sure. Right. But he was posting images, wasn't he? He spoke last time about the fact that it just wasn't starting up for him, and then I think when he tried again the following day, etc., it just still wasn't having it.
Right. I've got a brand. I've got the latest Galaxy. I've got an S23 Ultra, so obviously it's going to run for me. I've got it on, you know, because you got like your graphics settings, and it's like I'll just put it all on Ultra and it's fine, but it still just looks okay. It depends. Like, as I said, it's like all over the place with the graphics. You know what I mean? But yeah. I might give it some more of a go, just so I can give a more of a valid opinion. But because it would be interesting to see. Obviously, I've read a lot about, as I say, like the gacha stuff and how it's really annoying and shit like that. But I would like to see for myself to form my own opinion. So I might actually See, I might play it some more. It just depends because I don't generally game on my phone. I just use it more as a phone, and I use my
No,
Steam
I
Deck for my
think the
handheld gaming.
majority of people that obviously do mobile gaming are people who commute a lot, etc.
Yeah.
And I fully understand why games like, obviously, the aforementioned Candy Crush and Royal Match are so popular. Because they're the kind of thing where you're waiting for a bus for 5 minutes and you just get your phone out, have a couple of like puzzle games and stuff, and Bob's your uncle. And to be honest, those games work reasonably okay with a touchscreen.
Yeah.
But like to actually sit and play a proper game and try and get involved in something when you might only have a couple of minutes to pinch here or there, it's like don't really get the appeal.
I mean, the thing that I'm finding that I do think's quite interesting about this game in particular, like I've just finished that first mission, and it's now saying story selection, and I can choose from Tales in Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII the Advent Children, I think that says. I can't actually tell because my eyes aren't as good.
Possibly, but yeah.
Oh, hang on.
So
What's
yeah,
it
they're
say?
all kind of in the same universe, aren't they? So it's
so that's quite interesting. Like, so it's basically done in like an episodic thing. So I've just finished that, and it's like got like a world map of like Midgar, and it's like you can do next.
Shall we say what the game actually is though? Like, let's be real.
Yeah, go on.
It's a cash grab.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's a member berries cash grab for your mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of downloading as well. I'm now having to do a 2 gig update. Now I've just finished that.
You chose the story content. Downloading story content.
So I think it's got like story stuff, as I say, from Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and I couldn't tell if that said Advent Children or not.
I imagine it would. It's in the same kind of timeline universe, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Obviously, Crisis Core set before 7 slap bang in the middle, Advent Children.
Oh no, it's Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, and Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier.
Oh, so that was the.
Wasn't that the phone game that came out only in Japan?
Wasn't the first? Which was the one? Wasn't First Soldier the one we talked about? Which was like the kind of battle royale third person thing that was shut down after a year or so.
No. What? Oh, mate. What? Oh, maybe. So what's in it? I couldn't read it because the writing was so fucking small.
Mobile phone.
Oh, it's because my eyes are awful as well. When there's fucking...
Well, everyone's eyes are getting worse, I think, because everyone's staring at their phones so much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out online what stories are in it. But it's not saying. I can't find it anywhere online. Yeah. And this download's taking fucking ages. So I'm going to let you talk about the other game you've been playing while this downloads, and we'll come back to this very briefly.
I will briefly. I'll just say that I completed the last season pass content for Street Fighter 6.
Oh, okay. How was it?
Pretty much. It's alright. it's Street Fighter. I'm just doing like the arcade and story mode stuff. To basically unlock like the kudos points, you actually reasonably get a reasonable amount actually going through the story, etc.
Okay.
For it, so I think I'm near the end of the story. I just haven't bothered racing for it or anything because there's, like you said, so many games came out.
Yeah.
At the time, and like if I'm going to be using story mode to get, say, like the kudos points or whatever to unlock stuff for the season passes for Street Fighter, I might as well only play those parts of the game while there's a season pass to actually work on. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just earning kudos for nothing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think Aki, the latest character, is out very soon, and they'll probably be showing that off at TGS, and maybe the next character, which is probably Akuma.
Okay.
Or Ed. I think Ed's the other one, maybe. I could be completely wrong, but I know this the season pass for it hasn't actually blown me away character-wise. I think there was only like one or two of them that kind of interested me.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I generally don't buy fighting game character season passes full price. I wait for them to go on sale.
Yeah.
Because part of me's like, no, fuck you. They should have been in the actual game when you released it.
Yeah.
Rather than this drip-fed content nonsense. So,
Right.
yeah, you're getting my money, but only some of it.
Okay. So I've had to register my name. I've got to do a fucking...
Did you have to put your email in and give a blood sample, stool sample?
I've got to do a draw. Oh my god, this is so gacha. It's like, you have to
Except
do like
the cookies. Oh no, they're called polls. Got to go
It's
poll.
called a draw. I'm skipping this shit. So now I've got... Oh, what have I unlocked here? This is so exciting, Darren. I've got to tap the screen.
You've unlocked a new hat for Cloud or something.
And it's a rubber collar for Red 13. Oh, this is so exciting. Need a shit.
I mean, you can understand why it's there and it's kind of entertaining, but
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like, to be honest, there's like a part of me, like, even though obviously gaming is starting to go down the digital route that I'm kind of not interested in, there's a lot of aspects of gaming I just do not fucking like anymore.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna go down that route, they can fucking have them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll just stick with the old stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And support the people that actually do the things that I kind of like and want.
Yeah, so it's like, enhance your weapons and all this bullshit. And it's like, you got your daily login rewards. And I'm like, oh my god, I just want to look at the story shit. I need to know. I'm trying to talk on the podcast, right? And it's just putting me through all this fucking...
And then you'll get other people that are kind of like doing the... sort of where certain countries are worried, where it's like, people are getting addicted to gaming, people are gaming too much and stuff. Meanwhile, companies doing dailies non-stop. It's like, it's an idea. If you don't want people to fucking play your game constantly and every day and that, don't have reasons for them to sign in and log into it every single bloody day. Just let people play the game whenever they want to play the game.
Right,
rather than having a dangling parrot that's going to vanish.
So basically, right, it's got 3 stories, right? So it's got Final Fantasy 7, Crisis Core, and Final Fantasy 7: The First Soldier.
Yeah, you did say that earlier.
Yeah. Right, so I can't do that yet, because I've got to do... It says I've got to do it to get up to a certain level on Crisis Core, and I can't do anything on Crisis Core.
You got to pull for it.
So, right, so I'm sure The First Soldier only came out in Japan ages ago.
It wasn't there, like, which was the... There was like, do you remember when obviously Advent Children came out, you had that swanky phone that a lot of people wanted as like a collector's item? It's the one Cloud actually uses in the game. And didn't that come preloaded with like a weird little Final Fantasy game that was unique only to that phone?
Yeah. However, when I'm looking online, First Soldier, it's that shooting one that died after a couple of years. So
yeah, well, I don't imagine it is that. It's probably some kind of story content tied in to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah. In what's this called? Ever Crisis.
I've got no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever I hear mobile phone nowadays, I just roll my eyes and walk away.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about this game, but yeah.
Oh yeah, there's people falling asleep. Like, yeah, we know it's a mobile game. Moving on.
Yeah. Have you played anything else, mate? Or
Not particularly, no. There's just like so too much work and sort of not much out, and well, not much out at the moment. We say, even though there's a hell of a lot of games to play, but thankfully, obviously, like the Diablo 4 season pass, I completed like about a week or two back.
Okay.
The Street Fighter one's done, so I've no reason to stick those on. So
Fair enough.
just to wait the next set of games down the line.
Yeah. Okay.
Any others from yourself apart from like the mobile offering?
Yeah. So one of my favourite games I've been playing this year, so I'm not finished it, but I'm ploughing through it like anything, is Sea of Stars. It
All right, yeah, I
is
still see loads of people on my Twitter feed or whatnot banging on about this all the
it
time.
is so good. Like it's one of those games I just can't put down. Like just the story just it just doesn't really stop. Like things just happen all the fucking time, and the characters are so well done, and the dungeons are really good because the puzzles. I've just done one where the puzzles really made me think for a little bit. Like, how the fuck am I going to do this? And I managed to do it, and then I'm on. I'm in the middle of a dungeon at the minute. It's not really a dungeon; it's a castle, but it's like got loads of puzzles, like puzzle rooms and stuff, and so well done because it just looks gorgeous as well because it's that old kind of 16-bit art style, but obviously it's modern, so it's got really good lighting and it's just really well done. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, mate. As I said last week, I'm just so glad I've got the Steam Deck because I think it's just really nice to play it on a handheld. I mean, obviously, if I didn't have the deck, I'd be playing it on my TV with my Xbox or PC on Game Pass. But
I imagine it's on the Switch as well.
It is on the
isn't
Switch.
It?
Yes, it is on the Switch. But it's a fantastic game, mate. Like it's got everything, like from those old school JRPGs. Really, it's got the great cast of characters, betrayals, love interests. You hit a point in the game where you can explore the world map on, in vehicles. Yeah, it's got everything, right? So, I think I'm loving it. It's just ticks all those boxes for me. So,
I still think the only detriment to the game, as far as I'm concerned, and obviously loads of people probably don't feel the same way, but obviously I saw this game like advertised and shown like on the stores and stuff when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
And the cover art for the game looks like Tumblr shit.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
not
kind
great,
of
is
put
it?
me off.
Yeah.
Where I thought, what is this kind of like? Doesn't look like a homage to a JRPG at all. It kind of looks a bit like a modern, weird stuff, we shall say.
Yeah.
And I don't think the art's actually that much better on the Japanese version. So maybe it was a Japanese artist that actually did it, but it's definitely in a very sort of bizarre art style for like a JRPG to use.
Mm.
But yeah, that's it. Apart from that, everything else I've seen video-wise, the animation, the pixel art, etc., and everything looks like top drawer.
Yeah, it's fantastic, mate. Really is. I don't really much else I can say on it without spoiling it, so
it's on Game Pass, get it.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. Fucking do it now. So apart from that, there was a little bit of news this week where there was a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which, wow, it looks amazing. So before I talk about that trailer, it just got me in the mood for playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, the original one. So I picked it up on Steam because I originally played it on a PS4.
All right, yeah.
So I wanted to check it out on PC and on my Steam Deck. So I bought it on Steam, downloaded it on my PC and my Steam Deck. And first of all, I just want to say it runs really well on the Steam Deck. It looks great. So that's really cool. So there's options to play it handheld, if so needs be. However, the PC is the way to do it because, one, obviously it's a great game, looks great. but mods, baby. So I've only played the first 2 chapters, but I've put mods on the female characters to change their outfits.
Oh right, yeah. I think I've seen like the blue dress and things like that. But that might be for that other game you was on about. Some of them are in that as well.
Yeah, so that's quite cool. But it's just because it's been quite a while since I've played it, and I'm thinking, oh, I really fancy replaying it before Rebirth comes up, which is part 2. I thought I'm gonna just download it and then I can play it at my leisure before Rebirth comes out. So the release date for Rebirth is the 29th of February. So obviously it's a leap year next year. So
oh yeah, 28 days usually.
Yeah, so it's out on the 29th of February next year. So there's plenty of time to replay 7 Remake anyway, so there's no rush. But it's on sale at the minute, so I thought I'll grab it now. And the trailer for Rebirth, Darren, I'm sure you've watched it.
Fucking Square Enix know how to do trailers, like
yeah. It looks stunning, mate. And what's mad about it, because obviously I've played Final Fantasy VII many times, so I can't. So I'm very clued up on all the locations and everything like that. What I got excited about was just how they've redone all those big locations, like Junon with the big cannon. Remember that? So yeah, and it's just how cool it looks now, and the little marching scene from when you in the original, where you had to dress up as a soldier and blend in and do the marching bit. You know, that's all in there. I noticed they had a scene where you're driving the buggy, which you pick up in the game. You know, before you can fly and stuff like that, you can drive around the world map in the buggy. You very briefly saw Cosmo Canyon, which looks stunning.
In the daytime.
Yeah. Cat Sif looks cool, and Cat Sif is playable. They had a bit with the, you know, so in the original Final Fantasy, you could breed the chocobos, and they all had different skills. That it's back in this as well. So they showed you a black one which could climb up walls. They showed you a green one which was flying. So the chocobo breeding's back in it. The golden source is in it, because there was a very brief section where you saw them going towards the golden saucer, and the chocobo racing's in it as well.
Yeah, and some of the other mini games as well.
Yeah, I think the mini games, the driving on the bike one and the boxing one, which I remember vividly. I am really amazed that they've managed to put all that in the game, because obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake was just Midgar, and that was a long-arsed game anyway. You know, you're looking at, you know, about 20 hours, and just Midgar, they really milked it. But you know, you got a whole fucking, looks like a world to fucking explore on this, and I am just in awe on how amazing it looks. You know, it's going to be so much gameplay there, so much to explore. I'm quite intrigued to see how the story's changed, because Zack, you saw a little scene with Zack with Cloud on his shoulders going into Midgar as well. So I'm just kind of like,
this has made a lot of the speculators going to overdrive.
Yeah. Yuffie's in it, Vincent's in it. There's no Sid though. Not so.
No, you pick up Sid later on, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They might either be holding him back, or he might just be appearing in the third game.
Yeah. I reckon
that is when you get your airship.
Yeah, I reckon he's in the third one. There is a special edition with a Sephiroth statue. It's 350 quid. Sold out straight away.
Oh, wow.
Which I was like, OMG, that's crazy.
What are they going to have for the statue for the last one then?
I don't know.
Because they've done Cloud and Sephiroth.
Oh. Indeed. So, I don't know, mate, but it's just, I'm just intrigued, like, with how much they've put into it. You know, it's only February it's out, so it's not actually that long away, really. You know, five months away. And then the other rumor is that it's going to hit the PC 3 months after coming out on the PlayStation. Yeah, so that's it says not available in other formats at least until the 29th of the 5th, 2024. So what's that? January, February, March, April, May. So 3 months, so 29th of May.
I'm wondering if like maybe they were planning on, like they were thinking that the game was going to get released earlier, so they only paid for an exclusivity up to a certain date.
But I'm pondering now, because obviously,
in theory, the PC gamers should be happy, because didn't you have to wait a little longer than a year for remake?
Yeah, obviously I picked up on PlayStation because there was no way I was going to wait a year or so for it to hit PC. But I don't know, man. I mean, if it does come out only 3 months later, I'm tempted to wait, but I don't know if I would be able to wait because I'm such a big fan of the series.
You won't wait. No. I can guarantee you won't wait. I mean, I think if you pre-order it now, you can pre-order like one of the deluxe versions for PS5, and it also comes with remake as well, the original. So you'll get both of them for PS5. It's like a deal one at the moment, and it's literally the same price for the deluxe.
What website is that on?
It's on the PlayStation Store, I think.
Oh, right. I was thinking of like physical or whatever, but...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
They'll probably do a double pack or something, although it's a 2-disc game, isn't it, itself?
Yeah. Maybe
I have also heard a rumour that your saves don't carry over from the original.
No, they won't, I don't think, no.
So it's going to be interesting how your levels are and skills and materia, etc.
Yeah, that is a little bit annoying, isn't it?
Because some of the materia you obviously only got as like certain bonuses in the original one, so would they carry over for the summons, etc.?
Yeah. So Rebirth
Actually,
is...
I know how they're going to get around it.
Go on.
Yuffie steals all your materia. If you remember.
Yes.
There you go. That's how they can do it.
So Rebirth is $62.85 on shop2.net to pre-order. It's on the PlayStation.
Wait nearer the time. It's months away yet.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't pre-order it now, but...
Says the person who's had fucking Warhammer Deathwing on pre-order since roughly this time last year for Xbox.
That's funny.
But yeah, that version was shit-canned and worked on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hence the massive delay.
Oh yeah, Twin Pack, £70 on the PlayStation Store. That's actually not too bad.
Well, no, considering the game itself is probably going to be roughly £70. It's like they're bundling in the original
it's the same price
with it for free almost. Yeah.
You get remake for free. Oh, that's quite good. If you didn't already have it, I guess.
It's obviously there to entice people that have not played it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my PS4 disc somewhere, and I think you can get a free upgrade on it anyway, don't you? So
it was either, I think it was either free or like £5 or £10 or something, but I think it might have been free initially.
Yeah.
But you've got to do that bugger about thing with your save.
Oh, yeah.
Uploading it to like Square's cloud or something, and then downloading it back through something.
Yeah.
Ball like.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that, and but just another thing about Square Enix is apparently since Final Fantasy 16 came out, Square Enix has lost $2 billion in market value.
Yeah, that's obviously from multiple things throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because they offloaded their Western studios, Forspoken didn't do particularly well. They've cancelled multiple mobile games. We mentioned one of them earlier.
Yeah.
Obviously, they said the money from Final Fantasy 14 is down from last year. And I'm like, yeah, because the big DLC last thing came and went.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have obviously picked that up.
Yeah.
A while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the other bit of news is Xbox Live Gold is dead. Doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
So it's now changed to Xbox Game Pass Core. It's £7
it's still
a month.
Xbox Live Gold to me. I'm sorry. It's just like the way Twitter will be Twitter to me.
Yeah. So it's the same price as Gold. But instead of getting the 2 games a month, you just get a catalogue of 25 games.
It's basically almost like what they initially did with the PS5's release, isn't it? They bundled in a load of PS4 back compat games, etc. to play.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Yeah. So
there was obviously the other stuff that was shown off at the PlayStation thing as well, wasn't there? Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I mean I didn't watch it, so
yeah, so Spider-Man 2. Obviously, they showcased a bit more of that, how you change between characters and fast travel about.
Okay.
Showcased a load of outfits. There's like loads more outfits in this one than there was in the previous.
Okay.
As well, and there's extra boroughs of New York you can visit. So it's sort of like the same map as the last 2, but you've got extra areas now as well. And there's going to be obviously a few other villains guest starring in it. Another one that was I didn't expect it to happen, but there's a DLC coming out for Tales of Arise.
Yes, that's quite interesting that they've done that. It's odd, isn't it?
I really like Tales of Arise, so I'll probably be picking that up.
Fantastic.
I think that's out at the end of this month or next month. Maybe later. Flame Stars are showed off, don't care. But I think there's an open beta for that for people that might be interested at some point coming up. Speaking of open betas, by the time people are listening to this, there'll be an open beta for the First Descendant, which is a cross-play beta across all platforms. Korean-based, free-to-play, third-person shooter.
Looks quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've downloaded it to give it a go. I'm tempted to see what it's like. At least it's free, so like the game's going to be free anyway when it comes out. So why not make the open beta free to everyone? And the fact that it's cross-play across all platforms is decent as well.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to give it a bosh tomorrow, so we should be able to jump on together and have a go. If you want.
I think one of the final 3 updates for Resident Evil 4 is coming out relatively shortly as well.
Nice.
Adding in like the Ada story, extra stuff, and
that's quite cool.
More characters for mercenaries. Well, it is quite cool, but again, they're just putting stuff into the game that was already in the original one. They're just drip feeding it to you instead.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Have you seen this thing in America? They've launched an Xbox credit card.
No.
So they're doing this branded as Barclay card, right? But it's an Xbox branded credit card. So whenever you use it, you earn Bing points. Fucking mad, isn't it? Get your Bing points to convert into Xbox vouchers by using a credit card. Fucking mental.
Well, I suppose if you use a credit card, you might as well use one that's gets you a few extra bonuses here and there.
Yeah. I just think
It's just basically like a fucking supermarket card, and they get your reward points, get money off your next shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrots are on special this week. Cereal in aisle 6. Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Can't go in any shop nowadays without buying anything, and someone's like, "You got a reward card?" It's like, no, I fucking haven't.
Oh no, it's
do you want one?
ridiculous,
No, because I don't shop in here that often to actually make it viable.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Yeah. That's all my news, dude. Have you got anything else?
I did get a bit of amusing news. It's been memed around on social media. Mortal Kombat has either come out early access or it's out now to buy. I'm not too sure. I didn't really
it's out now. Yeah,
because I kind of went away from it. But yeah, the game obviously came out on current gen consoles, PC, and the Switch.
Oh no, it's not out until tomorrow. So it has been in early access.
So it's been in early access again.
Yeah.
Another fucking company doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone was wondering what it was going to be like on the Switch.
Oh my god, I bet it's awful.
It's not good. Seriously, while I'm on here, go on one of the social medias and just put in Switch MK or something, and you'll see screenshots like in comparison.
Oh, on YouTube.
It's obviously we know the Switch isn't as powerful as the standard original Xbox One or PS4s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not too sure if the game even released for those platforms either. I think it was just like the newer gen and PC, but then obviously Switch. And the results are funny.
Oh, it looks fucking awful on the Switch. What
it doesn't
the
look
hell?
Absolutely terrible, but it kind of looks like it's a good couple of generations ago version.
Why did they even bother? Seriously.
The funny thing that I like about it is everyone's eyes kind of look like they're bugging out.
Yeah. The PS5 version looks good though.
Style. I mean, visually the game looks nice. It's the same as obviously a lot of games these days. They all look aesthetically pleasing, we shall say.
Yeah.
For the graphics that they're going for the style of the game, etc.
Yeah. Wow, there's a huge difference. Wow.
So yeah, I just found that kind of amusing.
Yeah, man, definitely.
There was a Nintendo Direct as well, wasn't there?
Oh, was there?
Which
I didn't even know.
Before the PlayStation. It was actually, no, it might have even been on the same day because I knew one of them was happening and watched half of it.
Right.
Didn't know about the PlayStation one until the next day when I woke up and it was like Final Fantasy Rebirth was trending, and I checked to see why. And it said, it was showing off at the State of Play, and I was like, I didn't realise there was one. Watched it. It was okay. It was like 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 or something. Didn't show off too much stuff I was that interested in. A couple of things, but that's the best you can hope for these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's Dave the Diver's coming to the Switch, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's going to be really good, that game.
And they also announced, didn't they, F-Zero 99, which is kind of like a 99 or 100 player battle royale or 99 player. I'm not entirely sure whether they count you as one of the players. It's basically like racing, but there's like 100 of you or 99 or whatever on track.
Oh, and it's like old SNES graphics.
Yeah, and it's like done in that style. And it was a freebie. It's a freebie if you have Nintendo's online.
It's like the Tetris thing they did, that Tetris 999 they did.
Yeah, didn't they do a Mario 99 as well or something as well?
Similar, yeah.
Or was it a Mario with, might not have been 99, but I know it was multiple people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You try and race through the level as quick as possible.
It looks quite mad, actually. I was watching a video of F-Zero 99. There's people everywhere.
I think Dan said in our chat group, it might even be a test bed to see if there's actually any interest in them doing an F-Zero, but let's be real. I think if someone did a really good futuristic racer of almost any type nowadays that's executed really well, it's going to do fantastic because there's no competition in that market anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back to obviously the early PlayStation days, etc., there were multiple like futuristic racing games.
Yeah.
And now they've all roughly been killed off.
Yeah.
Apart from actual simulators or open world arcadey kind of games.
Yeah. Oh, I've just found a Forza video with this. It talks about the wheel gameplay, so I'm going to watch that in a minute. Looks gorgeous.
Well, I think
hell.
we've pretty much gone through most of the news, etc.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Awesome. Cool, man. Well, we're going to call it a night here. It's been good to chat, and hopefully Nick comes back next week as well. And
he'll probably be working a week or something.
Yeah, probably.
We can arrange a day.
Yeah,
try and figure out a day.
Yeah, it's been awesome, mate. So, from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag, Personality Steam ID, Webby360G.
Switch.
So, thank you very much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.